People want to call us racist, but we're just following the rules, the law of the land. This was Greg Poole's defending argument after he expelled DeAndre Arnold from school because his dreadlocks violated the dress code. This universally adopted dress code, rather, has been an excuse for hair discrimination and resentment against African Americans. As an advocate for the Crown Act, and with your help, together we can create a new law of the land that protects our fellow Americans from hair discrimination in our schools, workplaces, and in mainstream America. In order to resolve this accepted bigotry in our society, we must identify the problem of hair discrimination and how the Crown Act will resolve and create better working and school environments throughout the United States. Now, I could give you a textbook definition of what hair discrimination is, but I decided to conduct my own research on UW-Oshkosh campus to demonstrate how real hair discrimination is. Firstly, my research is based off of Dove, whose mission statement is, "We are dedicated to deepening our commitment to fighting systemic racism through funding ongoing support and new initiatives. Black Lives Matter." According to the Dove Crown Research Study 2019, when looking at images of hairstyles on Black women and non-Black women, Black women's hairstyles were consistently rated lower or less ready for job performance. I replicated this research study as I asked 10 students around UW-Oshkosh campus as I presented the participants with these 6 pictures of males and females. I had them choose one candidate they would hire and one candidate they would not hire without giving any background information of who they were. As you can see, both male and female African American had their hairstyles in dreads and twists. Out of the 10 students, 2 participants hair discriminated. One participant stated, "I would not choose the African American male because his hair looks out of the ordinary." The other participant stated, "I would not choose the African American male because his hair looks unprofessional." Remember, I did not disclose any resumes or information of the candidates as they came to the conclusion that they were unexperienced and unprofessional, all because of their hairstyles. Together, Dove and my research validate that hair discrimination is real and is affecting African American lives like DeAndre Arnold every day. DeAndre Arnold is from Mont Belvieu, Texas. DeAndre's family is originally from Trinidad, a Caribbean island near Venezuela. Part of his family's culture, and in many African American culture, styling hair into dreadlocks, twists, and braids is a preservation and symbol of one's heritage. DeAndre was banned from his graduation and expelled from school because his hair was styled in dreadlocks. DeAndre's superintendent, Greg Poole, 2020, stated to a CNN reporter that people want to call us racist, but we're just following the rules, the law of the land. Why are we allowing employers like Mr. Poole to use their power to police African American hairstyles and enforce the idea that natural hairstyles of African Americans affect the success within institutions? Even more repugnant of Mr. Poole's statement is that he's right. He is following the law of the land because there is no law of the land protecting African Americans from hair discrimination. However, you can change this by signing the Crown Act petition. The Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open Workplace for Natural Hair, would prohibit schools and workplaces from discriminating against people based on their natural hairstyles. At the head of this campaign in Wisconsin is Lakeisha Myers of Milwaukee. She introduced the Crown Act on August 1st of 2019. And as of right now, the Crown Act is law in Washington State, California, Colorado, New York, Virginia, Maryland, and New Jersey. However, in Wisconsin, the Crown Act was filed but did not pass into law. It is up to us to enact this law because we could resolve hair discrimination and instilled better working conditions. African Americans would be allowed to style their hair in its more natural form rather than having to cut or straighten their curls in order to fit into society. A benefit of this needed policy is that it would force diversification within our schools and workplaces across the country. Forbes 2019 states, "A diverse workplace is an increase in innovation and creativity among a culturally diverse group can create an esprit de corps and the feeling of positive progress for the benefit of the group and organization." Now, there is a downfall to the Crown Act. Because millions of Americans are unfamiliar with hair discrimination, this would affect all working Americans in education, business, film, sports, almost every occupation in America. The Crown Act will probably cost a lot of money to train and educate Americans on hair discrimination. And the reason I say a lot of money is because as of today, November 23rd, 2020, the Wisconsin State Assembly has not set a budget for the Crown Act. However, even though hair discrimination may not pertain to you, it does pertain to the way we interact with another. Think about it. This is the perfect time to have the Crown Act enacted as a law. Imagine when we come back together, our workplaces will have a new sense of diversification, positivity, productivity, and acceptance of different cultures. Hair discrimination also pertains to your American rights, responsibilities, and duties. It is our American responsibility to protect our fellow Americans. Darian Simone Harvin of Harper's Bazaar 2020 states, "It's up to the American people to speak up and let their legislators, both state and federal, know that they support the Crown Act. Until it becomes the law of the land, race-based hair discrimination will continue to be used as a tool to undermine Black people's validity in all spaces." If we don't protect African Americans, like DeAndre Arnold, from hair discrimination, our American values and beliefs of protecting our fellow Americans' equal rights are in vain. It's time to end hair discrimination. After this speech, I ask you to do your American duty and let our representatives and our government know that you support the Crown Act. The link to sign the petition will be at the end of the outline and description box, along with a 6-minute video called Hair Love. The link takes you to the page to sign the petition. Thank you. Yay! I think that's good.